is Stefan Salvatore.
I have to know her.
You must be Elena.
It scares me to love someone so completely and not have them love you back.
Hello guys, today we are going to talk about top 10 romantic series on Netflix. Video is gonna be really interesting, so stay tuned till the end. Before we proceed, make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you do not miss videos like this. Next we are going to talk about 2019's romantic drama series My First Love. This is a South Korean series that you could watch in English on Netflix. This series is about a guy named Yoon Tae-oh, and due to personal reason, all of his friends shift to his house. When all of his friends shift to his house, we get to see a lot of emotions between them as the relationships differ from person to person, and we get to explore their friendships, their love life and many things, which is quite interesting. The series starts off pretty slow, but as the story progresses, we get connected to each and every character present in this.
지금 안 오면 나랑 끝이야.
나 가야 돼. 찾을 수 있는 엄마가 있어서 좋겠다.
This series has a total of 16 episodes, with each episode running approximately 45 minutes. This series has a rating of 7.6 out of 10 on IMDb. Next we are going to talk about 2020's romantic comedy drama series Emily in Paris. This series has a total of 2 seasons. We get to see Lily Collins in the lead role in this series, who plays the character of a girl named Emily. Emily Cooper is a marketing executive from Chicago who is hired to provide an American perspective at a marketing firm in Paris. She comes to Paris due to work, but suddenly her life is changed completely as her emotions explode. So what happens to her next and how does her life turn out to be exactly, you need to find out by watching this series.
I have some ideas about marketing to Laura that I would like to share with you.
It's very sexy, no?
Sexy or sexist?
What is the problem?
This series has a rating of 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb. Next we are going to talk about 2020's romantic comedy drama series Love and Anarchy. This series has a total of 1 season. This series is about a married consultant and a young IT technician who assign each other challenges that question norms of the society. At first, it starts off as a flirtatious game that leads to unintended consequences. So what happens to them next, you need to find out by watching this series.
Backa efter hissen. Sen ska jag gå baklänges resten av dagen.
The storyline of this series is really interesting, hence it is a must watch for all of you. This series has a rating of 7.4 out of 10 on IMDb. If you guys like romantic movies, then make sure to check out the video in the I button of top 10 romantic movies on Netflix. Next we are going to talk about 2016 series Little Things. This series has a total of 4 seasons and it is a romantic comedy drama series. This series is about Dhruv and Kavya who are in a relationship.
मैं बोर हो रहा था, so I quit.
Quit things like that.
Dhruv and Kavya are in their 20s, and in this series we get to see how they navigate the ups and downs of work, modern day relationship, and also they find themselves in contemporary Mumbai. So how their life turns out to be, you need to find out by watching this series. This series has a rating of 8.2 out of 10 on IMDb. Next we are going to talk about 2016 series You, Me and Her. This is a comedy romantic drama series that has a total of 5 seasons. This series centers on a couple whose waning sex life and a sequence of surprising turns are about to take their relationship in a direction neither could have ever imagined. They hire an escort to spice up things, but soon it spins into a whirlwind 3-way involving affair that turns out to be really serious. The arrangement soon evolves from a financial commitment to a meaningful romance with real consequences. So what happens next, you need to find out by watching this series.
I thought this was what you wanted. I'd have to give up everything I wanted before I met you guys.
This series has a rating of 7 out of 10 on IMDb. Next we are going to talk about 2020's Korean drama series It's Okay Not to Be Okay. This series has a total of 1 season. This series is about a children's book writer whose personality is really antisocial. When she meets an employee at a psychiatric hospital, they find out that their paths overlap and also they have something in common after all. She also finds out that the employee's mother has been murdered. As they start talking to each other, she finds out that she has developed feelings for him. So how does it all happen and what is the connection between them? You need to find out by watching this series. This series has a rating of 8.7 out of 10 on IMDb. Next we are going to talk about 2020's romantic comedy series Dash and Lily. This series has a total of 1 season and it is a teen romantic series. This series is about two teenagers named as Dash and Lily. Lily is that kind of a person who loves Christmas a lot. But this year her family is not at home. Her brother gives her an idea to write some dares in a diary and leave it at the library so that some random person picks up that diary and starts doing those dares.
Have these clues like a treasure hunt.
Whoa, he stole Santa's hat!
That diary ends up in the hands of Dash and he ends up doing those dares. So what happens to them next, you need to find out by watching this series. This series is based around the time of Christmas, so it is a must watch for all of you guys. This series has a rating of 7.6 out of 10 on IMDb. Next we are going to talk about 2020's romantic drama series Bridgerton. This series has a total of 2 seasons and it has received a lot of appreciation.
You've always amused me, Miss Bridgerton. Ever since I was a schoolboy and you were...
Oh, but 5?
This series is set up in the Regency era in England, where 8 close-knit siblings of a powerful Bridgerton family attempt to find love. So what happens to them next, you need to find out by watching this series. This series has a rating of 7.3 out of 10 on IMDb. Next we are going to talk about 2013 series The Vampire Diaries. This is a fantasy drama series that has a total of 8 seasons. You guys might have seen a lot of series and movies that has vampires in it, but there is no series like The Vampire Diaries, and I am pretty sure that even for the next 100 years there is no series that could match to the level of The Vampire Diaries. This series is about a girl named Elena who falls in love with a guy named Stefan, only to find out later that Stefan and his brother Damon both are vampires.
Is Stefan Salvatore.
I have to know her.
You must be Elena.
So what happens to her when she faces a lot of challenges, and how does her love life exactly turn out to be? You need to watch this series to find out. This series has a rating of 7.7 out of 10 on IMDb. Next we are going to talk about 2018 psychological romantic thriller series You. This series has a total of 4 seasons. This series is about a guy named Joe who is a bookstore manager and he crosses paths with an aspiring female writer named as Becky. What would you do for love? This question is put to test when he forms a connection with her. It starts off as a charming yet awkward crush, and soon it becomes something even more sinister when the writer becomes the manager's obsession. Using social media and the internet, he uses everyday tool at his disposal to become close to her, even going as far as to remove any obstacle including people that stands in his way of getting to her. So what happens to him next? You need to find out by watching this series. This series has a rating of 7.7 out of 10 on IMDb. If you want to know about the top 10 series and movie recommendations on Netflix, then make sure to subscribe to our channel so you do not miss videos like this. Also make sure to hit the thumbs up so that it motivates me to make more videos like this.